Hi everybody. Here, do it there. Debra and Bandit here, and I just want to share with you today some things that are going on that have changed my life, but I want you to also know that coming up next, and I've got notes today because I have a lot that I want to share, and next coming up on my channel will be, I'm going to show you what it looks like to be shelter in place in Alabama around the beaches since the beaches closed. And don't worry, we were responsible. We didn't get out and about. I took the videos as we drove by, but I want you to see that. So be sure and stay tuned for that next. Today, I'm going to share with you changes that I'm planning on making, because this national emergency has drove home some things to me that I just wasn't aware of. And Bandit just wants me to play ball. He doesn't care about any of it. But the reality is that living small can bring big challenges. Let's explore that together today. All right, everybody. So Bandit and we are so very blessed to be here for the duration of this state of emergency that our country is in. As you can see, Fancy Free is plugged in, but that's actually part of the problem, because without Chuck and Letty and being able to stay here, I would be in a world of hurt, and I shared a lot about that on my Friday Night Live, if you want to go check that out. But I believe God put me and Bandit here at the right time, and Rosie's okay, everybody. We're all laughing. Letty's out here with me. Rosie came over here and coughed. So anyway, you gotta have humor. And I believe that God put me and Bandit here at the right time, and we are in this protective bubble, and I'm so grateful for that. But it has also led to some major revelations of some things that I need to change. And I know that it's not just me, and that it's nomads everywhere, and everyone really worldwide. I'm not trying to say that this is unique to me, but as I share things and anything that I reference, you can go to the video description and look for links there. And I just want to share the facts as they are right now so that you know where I'm coming from. And again, be sure and check out the video description. So here we go for some current facts. December 31st, 2019, China reported cluster cases of pneumonia. On January 7th, 2020, 1 week later, it was determined that was COVID-19. By the end of January, it had spread to 21 countries, including the U.S. And the United States' first documented case was on January 20th, 2020. In February, Italy's death toll surpassed China's. On March 3rd, the U.S. entered what is known as community transmission within epidemics, and that's an epidemiology term. On March 13th, 2020, President Trump declared a national emergency for the United States. Yesterday, March 21st, it was reported that we ranked as one of the hardest hit nations, moving up to 4th behind China, Italy, and Spain. But as of today, March 22nd, data from Johns Hopkins University Medical moves us up on the epidemiology scale from 4th to 3rd, just behind Italy. And an epidemiology scale takes into account populations and ratios and percentages and everything. So that's the facts as we know it today. The only continent now without reported cases is Antarctica. The CDC and public health experts indicate that the U.S. is rapidly trending toward the fate of Italy. In worst case scenarios, which is what the government and health experts have to look at, is not very good. And you can look up your own statistics or go to my video description for the links on my resources and citations. I know you guys don't need me. It's all over the news, and you've got national and state and local resources, and not to mention the social media that we're all pouring over. But I am sharing with you what is affecting me and what I know to be fact and what I'm making my decisions based on. And I encourage you that no matter what you read or who you listen to, please check your resources and the citations that they use. I don't care if it's a government official telling you something. They list what they're citing and what resources they are getting their information from, and I encourage you to look that up yourself. Some of the resources that I use and that I depend on, and again, in case you don't know me and you're new to my channel, my background is in biology, and I worked for the state of Texas, and I was in the Department of State Health Services, the Department of Assistive Rehabilitative Services, Health and Human Services, and I was a good portion of that in the Department of Epidemiology. So some of the things that I rely on for accuracy are the CDC, of course, the World Health Organization, anything out of the Mayo Clinics, medical journals such as the Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA, the New England Journal of Medicine, NIPH, which is the National Institute of Public Health, Harvard Medical, and more from medical schools or anything that comes out as data and statistic related. And then I just have to encourage everybody, don't forget humor in all of this. It's so important. And don't get uptight if people are trying to do humor and they get it wrong. We as a nation, we're coming together more than ever, and we need that humor to lift each other up. So keep smiling and laughing no matter what. And so I'm going to share with you now precautions that I'm taking. And again, it's all over everywhere. You don't need me, but this video is about what has changed my life and what I'm doing. And I'm encouraging my loved ones to do all of this as well. So CDC says their wording on social distancing is about 6 feet, and they say about. And I have a medical professional friend that says that they are telling everybody to do 10 feet for an abundance of precaution. And of course, it's allergy season, and there's been quite a few funny memes going around about that. Take your regular precautions for that. Sneeze into your arm, not your hand. Drink lots of water, lots and lots of water. And that, as a biologist, I have to remind you, is H2O. You put anything in that, and it's no longer water. It's become something chemically something else. So drink lots of water and wash your hands like times infinity. Just keep washing your hands. You can't do it often enough. I had a doctor when I was doing a lot of hospital stays tell me to put a dab of triple antibiotics in each nostril and sniff. And I have started that practice again. And consider using earplugs, or at least if you have to go pick up something from the grocery store or do a doctor's run or something, when you get back, consider swabbing your ears with Q-tips with H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide. And hydrogen peroxide can also double in a spray bottle as hand sanitizer if you needed to. And of course, there's all kinds of DIY things on YouTube on how to do that. Mask, there's a lot of people that say masks are just for people that are infected, but that isn't true. If that were true, healthcare workers, first responders, others would not be wearing them. It is important to wear a mask if at all possible. Gloves, if you're going to be touching anything from the outside world that you're bringing into your house, I highly recommend gloves. And in Italy, they are even starting to sterilize their shoes before walking into their home or getting into their cars or anything. And be sure to, this is the last one, wipe everything down, and you all know this, and you've heard it from everybody. In my video description, I have given a link to a list from the EPA of products that meet criteria for use against the SARS-CoV-2 virus, also known as COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus. So, all of that to tell you that's why I'm doing what I'm doing and what's changed in my world. But mostly I'm going to tell you how the pandemic has changed my life forever. And again, I know it's not unique to me. I know everybody is stressed. Everybody is looking at this, but I'm sharing with you what it has meant to me and what an eye-opener it has been in moving forward. I'm really talking though today about nomads who live in their rigs or their vehicles full-time 365 days a year, and that have no permanent residency or home base. And today I'm not discussing like legal residency and all of those issues. Me, for example, I've paid rent in Nevada, and I am a legal resident of Nevada, and I have my federal ID from there from paying rent and meeting those residency requirements. And other people do it through Escapee and Thousand Trails, and they're out on the road. I'm not talking about residency. I'm talking about having to travel 365 days a year. And with that, I guess no matter what you're doing, whether you're home base or you're in a vehicle, you still have to get supplies. And me as a nomad, you know, I have to constantly think about getting water, butane, propane, gasoline, a place to empty my trash, a place to park. And if you have an RV, you have to consider gray and black tanks. And there are a lot of national and state parks still open, but there are also a lot closed, and I think that will continue to change. City and county parks are closing. There are some still open, but it's iffy. And independent RV parks, there are some open, but there are a lot that I'm hearing from my friends that are nomads nationwide that are getting turned down, and they're saying they're not letting any new people in the park. And even the parks that are existing, the laundromats there, the showers, the pools and everything are closing. So life is changing right now for nomads especially. It's changing for everybody, even in sticks and bricks, but especially for nomads. And you know, it's like here where we're staying, we're so blessed because we have a young neighbor that has offered to go pick up our groceries, or if he's out and about shopping, picking up extra for us, and then we reimburse him. And I hope that you have a neighbor or a loved one or a friend or somebody that is looking out for you too. And please be sure and leave the updates of what you're going through in the comments below, and let us know. And everybody reach out to each other and do what you can. So I'm saying that because I know it's not unique to nomads, but it does put a unique perspective and some unique challenges for nomads that those in sticks and bricks don't have to deal with. And also, me as a van dweller in Fancy Free, I don't have an AC like RVs and other rigs do. And I'm down here in the south when this hit, and I wasn't able to, even if I go plug in, that doesn't get me any cooler. And if I travel, I was gonna have to be scrambling to find places to sleep and places that would meet my need for temperature regulation. And also on this epic, I took off on this 2020 epic road trip, and it was mapped out, point A to point B, and who I was going to see when, and I was friend hopping and family hopping, and just getting from point A to point B was already challenging enough for me. And it can be challenging for everyone as a nomad, but you combine all of that with trying to find a place to sleep, and it getting more and more challenging to find a place to sleep, the weather issues with van dwelling, combine that with my brain injury or anybody else that's out here with a disability. But especially for me, if I'm being faced with cognitively impaired decision making and all of that, while dealing with all of that I just went over, it can be insurmountable. And to be, well, I'll just be honest, I felt like it was even going to be life-threatening throwing in this pandemic, and it was terrifying. And I'm blessed right now, but that, you know, that is, I believe, God taking care of me, you guys that have all offered a place for me to come and stay. I am one of the blessed ones, and my heart goes out to those that were going to be like I was, just on the road and scrambling. I have managed to live this life for 5 years, and I've always said that it's closer to pioneer living than it is to modern day living and or even camping. And under the best of circumstances, when everything's going smoothly, it can be challenging. And I want this to be a channel of inspiration. So I have to tell you, I'm not glossing over the rewards of the 5 years living in Fancy Free, the blessings that I've had, the experiences and places that I've been able to see. And I can't even talk about the people I've met without tearing up, because it has all just been, I couldn't have imagined life being so expansive and so connecting and so loving like it has been in these 5 years. So I am not knocking being a nomad. I am saying that a crisis like this really woke me up, even though I've always been saying, have as much money as you can before you come out here. Have a home base if you can before you come out here. I've always been saying that, and now I'm saying that I don't know that you should if you can't. And I think that is what has changed for me. And again, everybody's life is going to change. Let me see if I can catch up with my notes, you guys. Hang on just a minute. I'm getting like a little bit verklempt here. I start talking about the people in my life and the blessings I've had, and it just goes all over me, because y'all probably can't see it on camera, but I got goosebumps. And so I think I just also, I hope that air conditioner wasn't too loud for everybody, but I think I also just want to say that I know there is going to be a financial fallout from this pandemic. It can't help but be. On this next video that I'm going to have coming up, you guys are going to see all of the beaches closed here in the Orange Beach and Gulf Coast area. You're going to see that probably 75 to 80% of the businesses are closed, and those that are open, as we know, are limited to takeout or carry out or pickup or delivery. And it's heart-wrenching, and even though the government is looking at doing subsidies and trying to help the Americans through that, and worldwide it's going to be devastating. So even when we get past this, and we will, there is going to be fallout and catch up to do. And I just don't know what my life is going to look like, because you take all that I know. I'm missing a page. You guys hang on. I just realized I missed a page. I want to go back to, so what I'm going to do differently, that I just completely scanned over that, is that I need a home base. Like I was saying, there's just no way around that. And having a home base is not the same as having an electrical outlet or a temporary parking space. So many of you have offered that for me, and I cannot tell you how humbling and how honored I am that you all have reached out to me and offered that. But that is not the same as what I'm talking about a home base. I need to work that out, or I may end up having to get off the road eventually. We'll see how it goes after all of this. That home base is, for me, is going to need electricity, preferably an air conditioner, but there's ways to work around that temporarily. Get a small AC or whatever I might need to do, even a generator if possible. I don't know what that will look like. I just know these are the things I need: electricity, air conditioner, a place with no living or building restrictions, because I may be in fancy free, or I may have to start off with a tiny home that doesn't have plumbing, just electricity. It's going to have road access. It can't be out in the middle of nowhere where I can't get in and out easily because of my medical condition. It has to be close to medical care. I really need it to be centrally located in the U.S. as much as possible, because again of my health conditions and needing to get to my trustee if I needed to, and to be able to go up and down in elevation and all of that if I'm still living in fancy free. Ultimately, I think for me, what I have come to, and again, you guys, this video is all about me and what's working for me, what I'm doing from my perspective. I'm not saying it should be true for anybody else, but what I think would work for me is, I have friends that bought an escapee RV lot in Pahrump, Nevada. And I think that would just be perfect, because you can park there whenever you want to, you can travel whenever you want to, you let them know you're coming back, and they make sure that nobody is in it, and it's maintained for you. And for me, with my brain injury, I just think something like that would be perfect. The utilities are there if I want them. Having said that, all of that and a quarter today won't buy me a cup of coffee. And we are going to be looking at that financial fallout that I was talking about. There's just not any way around that. And I don't even know where the rest of my notes are. I think I've covered everything, and I know I've been talking a lot, but this has changed my world. It's changed the world. Let me know how it has affected you. And all I can say is I love you. All right, everybody, thank you. Like we're all doing, keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep on keeping on one day at a time, and know that I'm thinking of you, and we're all in this together. We'll see you down the road as soon as we can. Keep watching my channel for future videos.